back in your corporate history, we have had the example of, I think, Sir Jamshedji Tata or perhaps Sir Dorabji Tata pawning off his wife's jewelry, entire jewelry and all his family collection, moving out to a rented house because he wanted to keep his word. He had made these business losses and he wanted to ensure that all his creditors were ensured that they got what they had negotiated with him for. When you, sir, when you step out into Europe and you've taken over Chorus, which was an entirely different operation, how has it been that how is it that you've managed to communicate this sense of fairness in dealing, integrity, in trust to the employees over there who also would have had similar concerns of security and employment after the takeover?
I think right in that stage, our my predecessor, Mr. Muthuraman, took a lot of pains to communicate across various sites the principles of leadership and the way House of Tatas would conduct the business. So there was a element of assurance. He spoke not only to the management or even Mr. Tata himself. Mr. Ratan Tata himself did speak to the management, senior management, and Mr. Muthuraman went around various sites talking to the people and also with the union leaders, telling them our philosophy. Look, in today's world, you can't assure security to anybody. I mean, that will not be a correct way of going about it. What one would always promise is that the management, with the support of the employees, will do its best to keep the business profitable and keep the business going. No, but tomorrow, if the business environment is such that you cannot run a business, so we had to mothball our slab making facility in Teesside after the financial crisis in 2008. The reasons are different. I am not getting into how the consortium of buyers who were supposed to buy went back on their words or reneged on their contract. All those things are there. We can keep on debating. But a mothballing is a mothballing and people are affected. Similarly, now there is some rationalization which is being done in the long product business. But this is done to protect the whole company, which you have to go and actually explain to the people. You just can't do in a high-handed manner that this is what it is, I can't help it. So security is I will mention very specifically, it has to be understood in the particular context, and it's not the cradle to grave kind of a security which any enterprise can offer today. Even I don't think even the government can offer today.
The old school of leadership that was dominant in Tata's all throughout, and now there is this period of transition in India and elsewhere in the world. Globalization, economic forces ripping you apart, no matter where you are. How can the leader now communicate with the masses like the old school did, like JRD did, of knowing as many people personally or at least meeting them? Virtually every employee of Tata Steel must have at least shaken hands with him once or twice. How can this be done when your organization is now spreading across the world?
You can always use technology much more than what it is, what was available, let's say, 50 years back. So, for example, we have a forum called MD Online, where through the web, practically each employee can watch what I am saying and he can ask me a question, what he wants to ask. The technology allows you to do that, which can be done once a month, which was never possible, let's say, 50 years back or 30 years back. On the other hand, I agree with you that there is a great value in personally meeting people, personally spending time with them, touching them, hearing them. There is not, and because of widespread geographies, it is not possible to do it with the frequency one wanted to. But every possible opportunity one gets must be utilized to spend time with the people. I think that's necessary, because if people don't understand you, if they are not able to tell you what they have in their mind, I think then there is a problem. So I personally, while using the technology or all the web technology what is available to you, you can do that. But every possible opportunity where I can spend time with the people, may not be as frequently or into the same depth as it was possible earlier, but I will still do that.
Finally, sir, what is your vision for the next 10 to 20 years for Tata Steel and for Jamshedpur?
Ah, India, actually, our immediate target is to keep Jamshedpur to take 10 million ton and ensure that the number one township status continues to be there. Because the expectations are changing and the infrastructure is getting strained and we still need to manage to be number one. And then the country is growing, our GDP is growing, steel consumption is growing, and we need to ensure that our market share is the same or better than what it is today. So growth is a growth along with full responsibility toward the societies where we will be there. That should be our next 10 years vision or target.